For almost a century, Woolworths was everywhere in America. Every town, every main street, every childhood. And then it vanished. 1997, the last Woolworths in America locked its doors. Gone. Not just the stores, but an entire way of life. If you're over 45, you remember walking into Woolworths with your mother on Saturday afternoons, the smell of popcorn, the lunch counter with red vinyl stools, the goldfish swimming in plastic bags, the feeling, the absolute certainty that Woolworths would always be there. It wasn't. This is the story of how America's most beloved store rose from nothing, changed retail forever, became the center of the civil rights movement, and then disappeared so completely that your grandchildren don't even know what it was. If you're drawn to stories about the America we remember, the places that shaped our childhoods, and the moment when everything changed, please like and subscribe. Let's begin in 1852 with a boy who would change shopping forever. 1852 to 1879, the boy who couldn't hold a job. April 13th, 1852, a boy is born on a struggling farm in upstate New York, Frank Winfield Woolworth. His family? Dirt poor. His father barely kept the farm alive. Rocky soil, harsh winters, endless work. Frank hated farming, dreamed of escape. At 21, he finally left. Got a job in a store, Watertown, New York. Got fired 6 months later. Why? He was terrible at it. Too shy to talk to customers, couldn't sell anything, hid in the back room. The owner's assessment? This boy has no future in retail. Most people would have quit. Frank didn't, because he'd noticed something, the 5-cent counter. 1878, Frank got another chance at a different store. The owner tried an experiment. One counter where everything cost exactly 5 cents. No bargaining, no negotiation. You see it, you want it, you pay a nickel. That's it. This was revolutionary. Before this, shopping meant haggling. Every price negotiated, every purchase a battle. Customers hated it, store owners hated it. But the 5-cent counter? Sold out in hours. People loved it. Simple, clear, cheap enough to buy on impulse. Frank Woolworth watched this carefully and thought, what if an entire store was like this? Everything one price, 5 cents. Simple. His boss thought it wouldn't work. Frank disagreed, and in 1879, he got his chance to prove it. 1879, the Great 5-Cent Store. February 22nd, 1879, Utica, New York. Frank Woolworth opens his first store, Woolworth's Great 5-Cent Store. The concept? Everything, literally everything, costs exactly 5 cents. Opening day? Crowds. Curious locals pack in. Week 2? Sales drop. Week 3? Disaster. May 1879? Store closes. Frank Woolworth had failed. But he understood why. Wrong location, limited inventory. He tried again. June 21st, 1879, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Woolworth's 5 and 10 cent store. 2 price points now, 5 cents and 10 cents. Better location, Main Street, high traffic, more variety. Toys, household goods, candy, fabric, tools. This time, success. Immediate, overwhelming. Customers flooded in. They'd never seen anything like it. Why'd it worked? Frank Woolworth changed retail forever. Before Woolworth's, shopping was complicated. Prices varied by customer, haggling, took forever, negotiate each item, required skill, good hagglers got better deals, favored wealthy, could afford to bargain. Woolworth's fixed pricing changed everything. 1. Simplicity. See price instantly. No thinking required. No embarrassment. Everyone pays the same. 2. Speed. Grab item, pay, and leave. No negotiation. Serve many customers quickly. 3. Dignity. Poor customers not treated worse. Same price for everyone. Economic equality in shopping. 4. Impulse buying. It's only a nickel. Low risk, easy decision. People buy more. This innovation, fixed pricing for mass retail, Frank Woolworth pioneered it. It changed American shopping forever. By 1880, Frank Woolworth was no longer a failure. He was a visionary, and he was just getting started. 1880s through 1900s, building the empire. 1880s, Woolworths expands. Frank opens more stores, Pennsylvania, New York, across the Northeast. His brothers and cousins join, each running stores, sharing the formula. The five and dime spreads. 1890s, hundreds of stores. 1900, 59 Woolworth stores across America. Competitors emerge. S.S. Kresge later became Kmart, J.G. McCrory, S.H. Kress, G.C. Murphy, five and dime stores everywhere. But Woolworth's was the original, the biggest, the best. 1905, Woolworth goes international, opens in Liverpool, England. British customers love it. 1909, Frank incorporates F.W. Woolworth Company. Over 300 stores. Stock goes public. Frank Woolworth becomes one of America's richest men. From fired store clerk to retail magnate. Pure American dream. Frank Woolworth, now 61 years old, wealthy beyond imagination, decides build the tallest building in the world. 1910 through 1913, construction. 233 Broadway, Lower Manhattan. The Woolworth Building, 792 feet, 57 stories. Gothic Revival architecture, terracotta facade, cathedral-like lobby with vaulted ceilings and mosaics. Cost? $13.5 million. Frank Woolworth paid entirely in cash, no mortgage, all from selling items for 5 and 10 cents. April 24, 1913, grand opening. President Woodrow Wilson presses a button in Washington. 80,000 light bulbs illuminate the building. Newspapers call it Cathedral of Commerce. At opening, world's tallest building, holds title until 1930. Frank Woolworth stands in the magnificent lobby, looking up at what he built. Poor farm boy, fired from his first job, now this. He has 6 years left. 1919, the founder dies. April 8, 1919, Frank Winfield Woolworth dies. Age 66. Cause? An dental infection that spread to his blood, sepsis. Before antibiotics, often fatal. A man who built an empire killed by an infected tooth. But the empire doesn't die with him. In fact, the best years are ahead. 1920s through 1950s, the golden age, what we remember. For those of us over 45, this is the Woolworths we remember, not Frank's era, but the golden age, when Woolworth was everywhere, part of every American childhood. Peak success. 1929, over 2,000 stores, U.S. and international. 1960, peak, approximately 2,500 stores on every main street in America. What Woolworths meant are memories. The lunch counter, red vinyl stools, waitresses in uniforms calling everyone hun. The menu, grilled cheese, 25 cents, milkshake, 15 cents, coffee, 5 cents, free refills. Saturday lunch tradition, shopping downtown with mom, stop at Woolworth's, grilled cheese and Coke. The taste, the smell, the red vinyl. If you're over 45, you remember. The pets, live goldfish in tanks, 10 cents each, sold in plastic bags tied with rubber bands. Parakeets, turtles with painted shells, We begged our parents, "Can I have one, please?" They usually said yes, it was only a dime. That goldfish died within a week, but the memory lasts forever. The candy. Glass jars filled with Jawbreakers, Mary Janes, root beer barrels, lemon drops. 3 pieces for a penny. With a nickel, you'd stand there for 10 minutes deciding 5 Jawbreakers or 15 Mary Janes. The toys. Everything affordable. Plastic soldiers, 10 cents. Jump ropes, 25 cents. Yo-yos, 35 cents. Christmas shopping with a $2 allowance, you could buy gifts for everyone and still have money for candy. The smell. Every Woolworths smelled the same. Fresh popcorn, floor wax, lunch counter grease, cheap perfume from the cosmetics aisle. You could walk in blindfolded and know exactly where you were. For us, Woolworths wasn't just a store, it was ritual, memory, childhood itself. This is the moment Woolworths became more than a store. It became a civil rights landmark. Greensboro, North Carolina, February 1st, 1960, 4:30 p.m. 4 Black college students walk into Woolworths. Their names: Ezell Blair Jr., later Jabril Kazan, David Richmond, Franklin McCain, Joseph McNeil, all students at North Carolina A&T State University. They buy items at the store, then sit down at the lunch counter and order food. The white waitress refuses. "We don't serve colored people here." The students don't move. They cite their purchases. "You served us at the other counter, why not here?" The manager appears. "I'm sorry, we don't serve Negroes at the lunch counter." The students remain seated, calm, polite, determined, until the store closes at 5:30 p.m. Then they leave, promising to return tomorrow. The movement spreads. February 2nd, the 4 return with 25 more students. February 3rd, 60 students. February 4th, over 300 students and supporters. Some white customers harass them, pour drinks on them, threaten violence. The Black students remain calm, nonviolent, dignified. Television cameras capture it. America watches. Peaceful students asking only to be served lunch, refused because of their skin color. Within weeks, sit-ins spread to Woolworths across the South: Durham, Charlotte, Nashville, Atlanta. Students, Black and white allies, sitting at segregated lunch counters, demanding integration, using nonviolent protest. Woolworths resists, then surrenders. Initially, Woolworths Corporate, New York, claims, "We follow local customs." Translation: "We won't integrate unless forced." But economic pressure mounts. NAACP organizes boycotts. Black customers, significant portion of the customer base, stop shopping at Woolworths. White sympathizers join boycotts. Sales drop. July 25, 1960. Greensboro Woolworths integrates its lunch counter. Black and white customers served together for the first time. Over following years, Woolworths stores across the South integrate, some voluntarily, most under legal pressure from the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Legacy. The Greensboro Woolworths sit-ins became one of the most important moments in American civil rights history, demonstrated the power of nonviolent protest, inspired student activism nationwide, helped lead to Civil Rights Act of 1964. For Woolworths, the lunch counters we remember for grilled cheese sandwiches were also the battleground where segregation was defeated. Closed as a store in 1993, reopened as International Civil Rights Center and Museum in 2010, original lunch counter preserved. You can sit on the same stools where those 4 students sat in 1960. That's part of Woolworth's legacy, too. Not just five and dimes, but the place where ordinary people stood up for justice. 1960. Woolworth's stands at its absolute peak. 2,500 stores worldwide, household name, cultural institution, civil rights landmark. It feels permanent. Our parents shop there, we shop there, our children will shop there, right? Wrong, because the world is about to change, and Woolworth's, built for Main Street America, is about to face forces it cannot survive. Woolworth's feels invincible, but the ground is shifting beneath it. America moves. After World War II, millions of Americans left the cities. They bought houses in the suburbs. They bought cars, 2 cars, then 3. And slowly, without anyone really noticing, they stopped going downtown. Why drive to crowded Main Street, fight for parking, walk between stores, when everything you need is near your suburban home? And then someone had an idea. Bring all the stores to the suburbs under one roof with free parking. The birth of the shopping mall. 1956, Southdale Center opens, Edina, Minnesota, suburb of Minneapolis. The first fully enclosed, climate-controlled shopping mall. Revolutionary features. Everything indoors, no weather, free parking, massive lots, multiple stores, department stores, specialty shops, food court, comfortable, fountains, benches, air conditioning. It was shopping as entertainment, shopping as destination. Americans loved it. Within 10 years, hundreds of malls. By 1970, thousands. And downtown? Forgotten. The death of downtown. For those of us who remember, this wasn't just stores moving. This was the death of a way of life. What downtown meant. Before malls, downtown was where life happened. You walked there, exercise, fresh air, chance encounters with neighbors. You knew the shopkeepers, Mr. Johnson at the hardware store, Mrs. Chen at the fabric shop. Everyone was there together. Elderly couples, young families, teenagers, all sharing space. The library, post office, courthouse, churches, stores, all together. Human scale, buildings 2 to 4 stories, sidewalks, trees, community. Malls replaced this with driving, isolation, no exercise, no chance encounters. Corporate chains with minimum wage workers who rotated every few months, no relationships. Age segregation, teenagers loitered, elderly avoided it, families rushed through. No civic buildings, purely commercial, no community function. Inhuman scale, massive parking lots, fortress-like buildings. When downtown died, we lost more than stores. We lost community itself. And Woolworth's, the anchor of Main Street, died with it. Second threat, a new kind of competitor. 1962, 3 discount chains launch the same year. Walmart, Arkansas, Sam Walton. Kmart, Michigan, evolved from S.S. Kresge 5 and Dimes. Target, Minnesota, Dayton Company. Their model? Massive stores, 50,000 plus square feet. Woolworth's was only 5,000 to 10,000. Suburban locations, near highways, huge parking lots. Volume pricing. Buy huge quantities from suppliers, sell at tiny margins, profit on volume. Everything. Groceries, clothing, electronics, toys, household goods. One-stop shopping. Walmart and Kmart were bigger, cheaper, and easier to reach, and customers noticed. Woolworths was caught in a trap. Too expensive to compete with discounters, too cheap to compete with nice department stores and malls. In retail, the middle dies. You're either luxury or discount. Woolworths was neither. 1970, 2,400 Woolworth stores. Sales flat. 1980, 1,900 stores. Profits shrinking. 1985, 1,600 stores, closing 100 plus per year. 1989, 1,200 stores. Death spiral accelerating. What we saw if we were paying attention. For those of us still shopping at Woolworths in the 1980s, it looked different, sadder. Signs of decline, fewer customers, lunch counter half empty, used to be packed, aisles quiet, worse merchandise, cheaper quality, less selection, empty shelves, aging stores, paint peeling, floors worn, fixtures from the 1960s, older staff, the same waitresses who'd worked there 20 years, no young employees, young people worked at the mall. Exhaustion. You could feel it. But we didn't think it would actually close. It was Woolworths. It had always been there. We were wrong. 1970s to 1980s, Woolworths management desperately tries to adapt. Attempt number 1, Woolco, discount stores. 1962, Woolworths launches Woolco, trying to compete with Walmart and Kmart. Result? Never profitable, closed entirely by 1983. Attempt number 2, specialty retail. Woolworths Corporation buys Kinney Shoes, Foot Locker, athletic shoe stores, launched in 1974, other chains. These actually work better than traditional Woolworths five and dimes. Corporate leadership realizes maybe the future isn't Woolworths stores. This is the beginning of the end. 1990, corporate decision. Focus on specialty retail. Foot Locker. Let traditional Woolworth stores die slowly. No more investment, no advertising, minimal inventory. Managed decline. 1990, 1,000 Woolworth stores remain. 1995, 400 stores. Closing accelerating. What it felt like final years. For those of us who visited Woolworths in the early 1990s, heartbreaking. The stores felt like time capsules, unchanged since 1970s, outdated fixtures, worn floors, ghosts. Lunch counters mostly gone, closed to save money. Pet departments gone, shelves half empty. Staffed by the loyal, elderly employees who'd worked there 30, 40 years, nowhere else to go, waiting for retirement or closure. You wanted to support them, buy something, keep them alive, but what they sold you could get cheaper elsewhere, so you bought something small out of loyalty, knowing it wouldn't matter. 1997, the end. Early 1997, Woolworths Corporation announces close all remaining Woolworth stores in America, end 118 years of operation, focus entirely on Foot Locker. Approximately 400 stores close, thousands of employees laid off, an era ending. July 17, 1997, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. The last Woolworths in America closes. Why Lancaster? Full circle. Lancaster was Frank Woolworth's first success, June 21, 1879. 118 years later, the last store closes in the same town. The final day. Not shoppers, mourners. People who remembered childhood shopping trips, lunch counter meals, five and dime magic. Come to say goodbye. Scenes from that day. Elderly women crying. I've shopped here since I was a girl. My mother brought me here. Where will I go now? Middle-aged people with cameras. taking photos of the storefront, the lunch counter, the aisles they remember. Employees, some who worked there 40-plus years, hugging customers, wiping tears, saying goodbye to a workplace that was their life. Media covering the end, local news, national stories, the end of an era. Final sales, everything marked down, 50% off, 75% off, 90% off. People buying not because they needed anything, but for memory, to have something from the last day. 5 p.m., closing time. Doors lock, lights turn off. The last Woolworths in America gone. For those who were there, it felt like a death. For those of us who weren't there but heard about it, we felt it too. Something we'd known our whole lives disappeared. After closing all Woolworth stores, the corporation faced an identity crisis. 1998 renamed Venator Group. Translation? Hunter in Latin. Bizarre choice. No connection to heritage. Why rename? Corporate belief, Woolworth's name equals failure. Better to erase 118 years of history. Venator focused on Foot Locker, Champ Sports, other athletic shoe chains. 2001 renamed again Foot Locker Inc. Woolworth's name completely gone. Today, 2024, Foot Locker Inc. still exists, publicly traded, thousands of athletic shoe stores, billions in revenue. But if you ask Foot Locker executives about Woolworths, most wouldn't know, wouldn't care. Corporate prehistory, irrelevant. The legacy erased by the company that grew from it. UK Woolworths lasted slightly longer. By 1980s, separate company, Woolworths Group plc, operated 800-plus stores across Britain. Same problems, supermarkets, specialists, outdated model. 2008, financial crisis. November 2008, Woolworths Group enters bankruptcy. December-January 2008, all 807 stores close. 10,000-plus employees lose jobs. British reaction, national mourning. Woolworths part of British life for 99 years. Media coverage extensive. People buying final items as souvenirs. Today, Woolworth's name licensed to online retailer UK, but no physical stores. Worldwide, five and dime concept dead. Across America, thousands of Woolworths buildings. 3 fates. Fate 1, demolished, many torn down. Downtown property values low, maintenance expensive, became parking lots. Fate 2, repurposed, some converted. Dollar stores, Family Dollar, Dollar General, bitter irony. Thrift stores, government offices, restaurants or bars, artists' studios, cheap rent in dying downtowns. Original Woolworth signage removed, interiors gutted, barely recognizable. Fate 3, abandoned. Too many Woolworths buildings, empty, boarded up, decaying. Drive through small-town America today, you'll see them. Old Woolworths buildings. Windows boarded, signs faded or gone, facades crumbling, weeds growing through cracks. Ghosts of Main Street. For those of us who remember these buildings full of life, seeing them abandoned is heartbreaking. Greensboro, North Carolina Woolworths, site of 1960 lunch counter sit-ins. 1993, store closed, sat empty for years, risk of demolition. 2002, purchased by Preservation Group. 2010, International Civil Rights and Museum opens. Features, original lunch counter preserved, same counter where 4 students sat February 1, 1960. exhibits on civil rights movement, educational programs. Visitors can sit on the stools, experience history. This is the proper use of Woolworth's legacy, preserving the moment when ordinary people demanded justice. But it's just one building out of thousands, most gone or forgotten. Malls, Walmart, competition. True, but incomplete. Deeper answer: America changed, and Woolworths couldn't change with it. What changed? 1960, Americans lived in cities or towns, walked downtown. 1997, Americans lived in suburbs, drove everywhere. Woolworths was built for walking customers. Downtown locations became liabilities. 1960, shopping was social activity. Time spent browsing, multi-stop trips. 1997, shopping was chore, minimized time, one stop preferred. Walmart. Woolworths was small selection, required multiple stores, inconvenient. 1960, limited consumer expectations, gratitude for affordability. 1997, high expectations, demand variety, quality, brands. Woolworths was generic goods, limited selection, no premium brands. 1960, local businesses, community connections, personal relationships. 1997, national chains, anonymous transactions, efficiency over relationships. Woolworths was built for an America that no longer existed. Other retail giants died the same death. Sears, once America's largest retailer, founded 1892 catalog sales, dominated mid-20th century, filed bankruptcy 2018, few stores remain. Montgomery Ward, founded 1872, closed entirely 2001. Kmart, started as SS Kresge 5 and Dimes, Woolworth's competitor, became a discount chain, filed bankruptcy 2002, again 2018, merged with Sears, both dying together. This wasn't just Woolworths failing. This was an entire generation of American retail dying, killed by Walmart 1962, Target 1962, shopping malls 1956 onward, changing American geography and culture. The retail giants of Main Street America, all gone. Here's the twist. The malls that killed Woolworths, they're dying too. Amazon is doing to malls what malls did to Woolworths. 1997, Woolworths closes, malls triumphant. 2024, malls dying, online shopping triumphant. The numbers: dead malls across America. Anchor stores, Sears, JCPenney, Macy's closing. Smaller stores follow. Malls become ghost towns. Some demolished, some repurposed. Amazon warehouses, ironically. Why malls are dying? Convenience. Order online, delivered to door, no driving, parking, walking. Selection. Amazon offers millions of items. Malls offer thousands. Price. Online often cheaper, no overhead for physical stores. Just like Woolworths couldn't compete with malls, malls can't compete with Amazon. The pattern repeats. Each generation of retail kills the previous and will itself be killed. Woolworths to malls to Amazon. To what? What kills Amazon? We don't know yet, but something will. For those of us who remember, this isn't just nostalgia. We lost something real. 1. Affordable community gathering places. Woolworth's lunch counters, where you went for affordable meal, $1 to $2, human connection, waitress knew your name, multi-generational space, elderly, young mothers, workers, all together. Nothing replaced this. Fast food is impersonal. Diners are expensive and fewer. Coffee shops, Starbucks, are expensive and different culture. Cheap plus communal plus welcoming to all, gone. 2. Downtown as living community. Woolworths anchored downtown. When Woolworths closed, other stores followed. Downtown became office or government only, empty after 5 p.m., no reason for people to go, community fragmented. 3. Shared childhood experience. For us, 45 plus, we all remember Woolworth's memories. New York or Iowa, Texas or Oregon, we all remember the lunch counter, the goldfish, the candy. Shared experience. Our children don't have this. No shared retail landmark, no common reference point. Something cultural, small but real, lost. 4. Economic inclusion. Woolworths meant poor families could buy Christmas gifts, elderly on fixed incomes could afford lunch out, children with pocket change could buy something. Economic inclusion. Modern retail, Walmart cheap but impersonal, often far from city centers, dollar stores cheap but limited, no experience. Nothing combines affordability plus experience plus accessibility like Woolworths. 5. The illusion of permanence. We thought Woolworths would last forever. Our grandparents shopped there, our parents, us. When it disappeared, we learned nothing is permanent, not even institutions that seem eternal. If Woolworths, which lasted 118 years, could vanish completely, what else will disappear? The lesson: change never stops. Woolworth's story teaches us 1. Nothing lasts forever. Not companies, not buildings, not ways of life. Woolworths seem permanent. 118 years, multiple generations, ubiquitous. Then, gone. From peak to closure, 37 years, one generation. 2. We resist change, but it happens anyway. Woolworths resisted change, hoped malls were a fad, hoped downtown would revive, hoped loyalty would sustain them. But change doesn't care about hope or loyalty. The companies that survive embrace change ruthlessly. Amazon, Netflix, Walmart. The companies that die resist change sentimentally. Woolworths, Sears, Blockbuster. 3. The cycle continues. Woolworths killed by malls. Malls killed by Amazon. Amazon will be killed by something. Each generation believes their way is permanent. It never is. 4. Loss is real, even when change is inevitable. Woolworth's closing was necessary, business model obsolete. America changed, had to happen. But the loss is still real. What we miss? Community gathering places, affordable retail experience, shared cultural touchstone, downtown vitality, childhood magic. Not coming back. Modern retail offers efficiency, selection, convenience, low prices, but not community, experience, human connection. We can't go back, but we can acknowledge we lost something when Woolworths died. July 17th, 1997, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. The last Woolworths. Final hour. A child, maybe 7 years old, looks in the fish tank. One goldfish left. Asks parent, "Can I have it?" Parent knows it's the last day. Says yes. Employee scoops the goldfish into a plastic bag, ties it, hands it to the child. Maybe charges 10 cents. Maybe gives it free. What does it matter now? The child carries the goldfish out, never to return, because there is no more Woolworths. That goldfish lives maybe a week, then dies, and with it, the last living connection to Woolworths, gone. Except in memory, the child, now an adult in their 30s, might tell their own children, "I got the last goldfish from Woolworths." And their child will ask, "What's Woolworths?" And they'll try to explain, "It was a store. You could buy anything for almost nothing. There was a lunch counter. They sold goldfish in bags." The child will struggle to imagine it because nothing like it exists. And that's how things end. Not with a bang, but with the last goldfish, and then memory, and then forgetting. If you were moved by this story of the store that defined American childhood, the lunch counter where history was made, and the moment when Main Street died? Please like and subscribe. Tell me in the comments, do you remember Woolworths? What did you buy there? When did you last visit? Sears, the catalog that built America, and why it died. Howard Johnson's, the orange roofs that vanished from American highways. The death of Main Street, how malls killed American towns. Kmart's rise and fall, from five and dime to bankruptcy. These aren't just business stories. They're requiems for the America we remember. The stores where we shopped, the places that felt permanent and then disappeared. Woolworths taught us nothing lasts forever. Not the five and dime where your mother bought you a goldfish, not the lunch counter where you ate grilled cheese on Saturday afternoons, not the childhood magic of walking those aisles with a quarter, knowing you could buy something, anything. It's all gone now, except in our memories and in the empty buildings on main streets across America, reminders of what was and what we lost. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next investigation.